Now, can you hear me now?
Yes, now everything works. So the
Everything
floor is
works.
yours.
Thank you very much for your patience, Raquel. And thank you very much for a very interesting presentation on Remco. It was very interesting to learn more about the ISO institution. And I think it's, in the end, I think it was the best starting point. I mean, bringing something from the global to the national, because without clear national standards, the quality of public service interpreting becomes uneven and unreliable. So I will now, it's good. Yeah. So I'm going to talk a bit about the need for national standards. Actually, this is something that Remco did, so I'm not going to spend lots of time telling you about it, but I will try to explain how we have been building the Norwegian model in Norway and how we have established some national standards that resulted in an interpreting act that regulates the use of qualified interpreters in the whole public sector in Norway. I will touch upon some lessons that we have learned the last 2 decades, 3 decades, and some challenges as well that we see that we are facing now and that we may face in the future. Well, as I mentioned, without clear national standards, the quality of public service interpreting becomes uneven and unreliable. Interpreters, they may have very different levels of training. Institutions may apply inconsistent practices, and minority language users of public services may not know what quality to expect. This inconsistency can directly affect people's fundamental rights, whether in a hospital consultation, or a court hearing, or a meeting with the immigration authorities, the examples that were mentioned by Remco in the beginning of his presentation. And when a language access depends on who happens to be available rather than on transparent criteria and professional qualifications. So this poses also a threat to the trust in public institutions. So the lack of trust can also be a result of a lack of standardization when it comes to public service interpreting, because the result of the services that you get will be affected by, of course, the quality of the interpreting services that you're using in this particular situation. So in the end, standardization is not only about bureaucracy, but it's also about safeguarding equality before the law and ensuring that everyone, regardless of language background, can participate fully in society and that their rights will be respected as well. At the same time that we know that there are some international standards, as Renko mentioned, they cannot by themselves guarantee effective practice at the national level. They provide important principles and a common vocabulary, but they must be interpreted and adapted to fit each country's legal system, administrative structures, and service culture. In Norway, as in other countries, building national standards means developing policies, procedures, and legal frameworks that reflect our specific context, our public services, education system, and linguistic diversity. Only through this national adaptation can international standards become useful in a national sphere. So we have developed in Norway a system that consists of 4 different pillars, where these pillars are qualification measures for interpreters. We have also established a national register of interpreters, and we have been working a lot raising awareness, and then working with research and development. This is the basis of the 4 pillars that sustain the Norwegian model. And what has been interesting developing these 4 different structures is that we have been cooperating with different areas of the public sector, with education institutions, with research institutions, and we have been using the same basis for telling public servants about what to expect from interpreters and what not to expect from interpreters, but also training interpreters in how to deal with expectations of civil servants. This has been a long journey until 2022, when we got, as mentioned, the Interpreting Act that we have in Norway, that I will talk a bit in the end. Until then, we always stopped when civil servants asked, where does it say that I need to do this? I mean, there was the legislation regarding interpreting service was very fragmented. You could find some mentions in different regulations, but there was a lack of unification of the rights and aspects regarding the use of interpreting services in the public sector. So we have developed a set of qualification measures for interpreters in order to make sure that all the interpreters have the same starting point when it comes to standards, when it comes to what they need to do when they meet civil servants. This qualification system consists of several measures. One bilingual proficiency test, which is combined with introductory training in interpreting ethics and techniques, which is a course of it's an online course now that goes through 2 weeks. In addition to that, since 2007, there has been established university level training course in public service interpreting, 30 ECTS, which is a 1-year part-time study. In 2017, we have got our bachelor's degree in PSI. And since the 90s, there has been a national certification exam in interpreting. So these are the main measures for qualification of interpreters in Norway. And today we have the possibility of qualifying as an interpreter in 3 different educational institutions. But for a long time, until, if I'm not mistaken, 2017, there was only possible to qualify as an interpreter at the Oslo Metropolitan University. So for more than 10 years, around 10 years, there was only the possibility of qualifying as an interpreter, achieving formal qualifications as an interpreter in one educational institution. And one of the reasons why we chose to do this way, it was in order to establish a standard that then could be further developed in other educational institutions. And this is also getting some experience from our neighbors in Sweden and from Australia as well, that has opened for different institutions, different levels of institutions to qualify interpreters, meaning that you had a very difficult time setting up a national standard, because if you would get a degree or a course from a university A, or from a high school B, or from a private company C, it would be very difficult for you to find out what were the similarities of these different courses. So since 2017, the University College of Western Norway, Høgskolen på Vestlandet, they have started also the 30 ECTS university level course in public service interpreting. And for a few years ago, also the Sami University College has also started their own course, which is based on what the Oslo Metropolitan University developed. So they have the possibility of further developing the standard that was set by the long time work done by the Oslo Metropolitan University. Since 2005, we have gotten our own national register of interpreters. which is publicly available at tolkregister.no. So all of you can visit the website. We have just got a new interface where you can search for an interpreter with the country of the interpreter, or the country actually where the language is spoken. You can choose also the language, and you have also the possibility of writing the name of an interpreter. And the pyramid that you see on your left-hand side is to illustrate that a combination of the different levels of qualification that you have achieved in the educational system will place you in different levels in the National Register of Interpreters. While the lowest level consists on people that have passed the bilingual proficiency test, combined with the interpreting course on the interpreting techniques and ethics, while the top of the pyramid is reserved for those who have achieved the highest qualification, which is a combination of a bachelor's degree with a national certification exam. Another pillar, the third pillar of the Norwegian system has been about awareness raising, and in order to do this, we have been cooperating with several sector authorities because it has been very important to involve the service providers in the development of this field in Norway as well. So in order to both map the status quo in the different areas of the public sector in Norway, but also to identify challenges and make these institutions or sector authorities to recognize and acknowledge the problems that they were facing due to the lack of use of qualified interpreters. We have been cooperating with them in order to support them in solving, in improving the use of interpreters. So we have started with several mapping in different areas, cooperating, as I mentioned, with the Directorate of Health, Directorate for Children, Youth and Family Affairs, the Police Directorate, Correctional Services, and the Courts Administration. In addition to that, we have also cooperated with the Oslo municipality regarding primary and secondary schools in Oslo, and also with the Labor and Welfare Administration. And we have had different results of this cooperation, some of them being national guidelines and other recommendations. And unfortunately, in the cooperation with the Oslo municipality, we haven't achieved anything, which is also interesting when you see how you can further develop this field. So establishing national guidelines in different sectors has provided us also the ground to establish a fellow legislation for the field of public service interpreting in Norway. Another pillar of the Norwegian model has been basing our measures in research and development. In this area specifically, the Norwegian Directorate of Integration and Diversity, where I currently work as a senior advisor, has been playing a very important role in order to finance different research projects in cooperation with research institutes, with sector authorities, and also with educational institutions. Meaning that all the measures that we have planned, that we have implemented, has been based in knowledge, and also, as I mentioned earlier, in the cooperation with sectorial authorities and based on their own guidelines and their own challenges. So in 2022, we have achieved a landmark, having the Interpreting Act that regulates the use of the use of qualified interpreters in the whole public sector. This is actually a picture from the day that the law passed in the Norwegian Parliament. And there is an English version of the legislation as well, of the Interpreting Act, available in this website. I'm sure that the presentation will be available afterwards, so you don't need to copy the link right now. So to some lessons learned, and also some challenges that we face and may face in the future. We see that having a centralized authority, a national authority as the Norwegian Directorate of Integration and Diversity has been a crucial aspect in having in developing this model and having an overview and a role of being a driving force in this field. Of course, always cooperating with different sector authorities and educational institutions as well. As I mentioned, integrating qualification, research, guidelines, and resulting in a law. Integrating these different aspects has given us the structure that we needed to achieve a law. Without the structure, without the background, the law wouldn't be possible no one will be able to comply with the definitions in the law. And building trust between interpreters and institutions through standardization. So standards will build trust between interpreters and institutions that has a need for interpreting services in order to deliver their services. We face some challenges that we see that the whole world that takes public service interpreting for serious faces. We have a shortage of qualified interpreters in languages of lesser diffusion. I see digitalization both as a potential advantage, but also as a challenge, specifically with as Remco mentioned also, the use of new technology and artificial intelligence in the field brings big challenges when it comes to standardization of this field. And of course, funding, that is also a challenge. So this is what I wanted to present in order to set up some grounds for further discussion with you. Thank you very much for your attention.